Thank you for watching. In this video for KickASS Indexer, we're going to explain a little bit about proxies and show you how to use it. So the first thing you would do on the main indexer tab once you loaded it is you would make sure that this use multiple proxies is on. Really, we suggest that you use PVAs as well, so make sure that's on too. Okay, so then we would go to the proxy tab, and as you can see, if you've already watched the PVAs video, it's a similar sort of process. If you haven't, then it's really easy. We have two methods of inputting proxies into KickASS Indexer. The first is you get your proxies from a CSV file. So in your first column of your CSV file, you would have the IP like that. It'd obviously be different numbers, but you'd have the IP. Then in the second column of the CSV file, you'd have the proxy port. You can get this off your proxy provider. And in the third column, you would have, if you're using authentication, you would have the username for the proxy. And in the fourth column, you would have the password for the proxy if you're using authentication. If your proxies are authenticated by being locked to your machine, then, or it doesn't need authentication, then just put in the first column your proxy IP and the second column your proxy port. Once you've got that information, you would put, there would be one proxy per line. So then basically you got your CSV file, you would come to this tab here, you click choose file, and then basically you'd click import proxies from CSV file. That would then display the proxies here in a similar format to that, and you'd then press save proxies. That will save the proxies list into a text file called proxies.txt, and this will be saved in the KickASS Indexer folder. A little note: when you press save settings on the main tab, that saves all settings. So it saves all these settings, it saves all them settings, all your PVAs, all your proxies, it saves everything. But it's still good practice to save here, because if you ever wanted to just load in a different list, or or you've got different settings you want to load in your list, you can do it. You've also got your clear proxies. When you press clear proxies, it won't clear a saved file. So if we had a list in here and we press clear proxies, it'd clear the list out of here. But if you wanted to save your proxy file, blanket, you'd have to press save after. So, okay. So that's the first way you can import proxies via a CSV file. If you hover over any of these functions or buttons, you can see that basically they've got little tooltips on them. The other way to put proxies into KickASS Indexer is to literally copy and paste. A lot of proxy providers will provide you the proxy in this format. If it doesn't, it's really simple. You just make sure your IP's first, and then you put a colon to separate it, no spaces. Then you put the proxy port, then you put a colon to separate it, again with no spaces. Then if it's using password and username authentication, you put the username, and then no spaces obviously, and then separated by a colon, and then the password. And then that's it. You'd press return and you'd have another one. So what I'm going to do, so it'd be something like, and then we'd put the port, and then we'd put the email, and then we'd put the password. So literally, if you wanted more, you could just put them one per line. Obviously it'd be different information. Then you press save. Now what we've also done is we've incorporated a proxy tester for you. Okay, so what I will do is I will paste in my private proxies now. I'm obviously going to blur these out because I don't want to share them. But I'll show you the proxy tester. So if you paste them in there and then you literally just click test proxies, and then you watch the status here, and it will show you the status of the proxies once they're being tested. It will show you whether they pass or whether they fail. I'll just pause the video while it does its tests. Okay, and once it's finished, you'll get a little box pop up to say where it saved your failed proxies. You can also see your proxies in your log, so you can see whether things passed or failed. Everything's logged, timed and dated for most of the actions in the indexer, so you know exactly what's going on. Okay, so one thing to note, so the only other thing that I'd say, if you use a VPN, please disconnect the VPN before you try to connect to any proxies, because it won't work. Your proxies will fail. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me or one of my staff at my client's area. If you need a decent proxy provider, you can click this link here. Please note we are affiliated with it, but we do also purchase our own proxies from it, and that's why we recommend it, because it's such a good service. Thank you very much for purchasing KickASS Indexer, and thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.